Hi friends, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing another realistic what I read in a week. I'm currently reading Sky Shade by Alex Astor. The dust jacket is not on it right now. And this green gives me the ick. It really does. I loved this color on Mate, but this gives me the ick. Don't know why I had to throw that out there. I just did. But I'm currently on page 212, which is, I forgot that these books aren't numbered. They're like named. So this is winter. No idea what chapter this is, but I'm on page 212, and I'm about to go to the gym, hence why my hair is kind of up this early in the, well, I guess I didn't tell y'all what time it was. It's like 10 a.m. But I'm about to go to the gym, walk on the treadmill, and I'm gonna listen to, this isn't on Spotify for free, but I had a credit on Audible, so I just downloaded this. I'm gonna listen to it on Audible, probably just like a chapter or two, and then we'll come home and read the physical book the rest of the day. But I haven't done one of these videos in a really long time, and I'm really excited. I honestly am doing this to like give me motivation to finish this book, because I've been reading this book for like, I'm not even joking, like 3 weeks to like maybe a month even. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get through this. I'll like binge read a lot, and then I like won't read for a few days. Then I binge read a lot, and then I won't read for a few days. So like I need to be held accountable and finish this book. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I hope that you guys enjoy it. I'm really excited for it. And yeah, let's go to the gym and listen to the audiobook. Good morning, you guys. It is the next morning from when I last talked to y'all. I really did not do well yesterday. I ended up not even starting, the AC just came on. Sorry if that's really loud. I ended up not even starting to read until like 7:45 last night. I was filming another video yesterday and just time got away from me. I ended up not even listening to anything while I was on the treadmill. So I ended up not reading like a super lot. That's not a phrase. Sky Shade, I did just from like 7:45 to when I went to sleep. Cause like I read and I get on my phone, like I go back and forth. I just cannot focus on a book unless I really love it for like 2 hours straight. So I ended up reading 47 pages of Sky Shade. I'm now on page 259. Something that's really cool is there's a person in this book named Reagan. There's a guy named Reagan. Granted, his is spelled R-A-G-A-N and mine is R-E-A-G-A-N, but I'm starting to see the name Reagan more and more in books. There's a Reagan spelled differently too, but there's a Reagan in the Fourth Wing series. I'm like, wait, I kind of love my name now. I grew up not really loving my name, and now I'm like, wait, all of these Reagans in fantasy books, like, okay, I can get behind this. So I read 47 pages of this, and I'm getting really close to finishing. And then I did end up reading a little bit. So like I read the physical book when my boyfriend is still out in the living room watching TV, because like I can have the lamp on in the bedroom. So that's when I read my physical book. And then I almost always have a book specifically for when the lights go out so I can read on my Kindle. And I'm reading Anathema, and I'm on chapter 7 now, which is page 73. And I think I started on page 53 last night. So I read exactly 20 pages of this. I don't know what to think about this book yet. I really don't. There's the Eating Woods, which is like, they banish people that have like done wrong in the community. They banish them to the Eating Woods. And whenever you like, there's like an arch that you go through, and then you're in it. And once you're in it, there's like creatures in there that will like just tear you apart, eat you alive. So it's like, it's basically a death sentence to go in there. And that's kind of what the book's been centered around. There's two sisters, Alicia and like Mavis, and we're kind of just like learning their life around this little town that they live in, and like what happens when they send people into the Eating Woods. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm literally on chapter 7. But so far, or not so far, but yesterday I read a total of 67 pages. It's not bad. I really was scared that I didn't start reading until like 7:45, but 67 pages is not horrible. So that's what I ended up reading on Monday. I'm gonna do better today. It is only, I think I said good morning earlier. It's 1:38. I'm gonna start reading earlier today. I'm gonna go sit down, start reading this so that I would literally, like in a perfect world, I'd finish this book today. I have 130 pages left. I don't think I'm going to, but I'm gonna try. someone who we thought was dead actually is not dead, and they just showed up in this book. I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to spoil, but honestly I don't even remember what these, I know what this person did, like why they're important, but I don't like remember all their history, so I'm not sure what's about to happen. We just got to such a sad part. So, oh my god, wait, what is his name? No, I don't want to like tell y'all who just died. Someone just died that I wouldn't say is a main character, they're kind of a side character, but before, I'll tell you it's a guy, but right before he passed, he did something like really kind for, I almost said Feyre. This is not Sarah J Maas, girl. He did something really kind for Isla, and right before this man died, Isla asked him like, wait, I've never asked you what your name was. What is your name? And he was like, I don't even remember, because of like what he's been through. And right before, like literally right before he was stabbed, he was like, wait, I do remember, my name was, and then he says it. And like, it didn't mean anything, the name. Like I don't think the name connects to anything, at least not yet. But like, that's so sad. He made Isla these gifts, and then he couldn't even remember his name because of like how much he's been used and been through, and then he ended up remembering it in the last second of his life. I just got out of the shower, that's why my hair is soaking wet, but I had today's Wednesday, I had a much better day yesterday on Tuesday than I did on Monday. So I ended up reading exactly 70 pages of Sky Shade. I don't even remember what page I got to because I actually have already read one chapter this morning. I guess I can just go back a chapter. I made it to page 329 last night, and we got to a scary part. Like this last chapter that I read this morning, I was tearing up a little bit. It was pretty sad, but I read 70 pages of this. I'm almost done with this book. I have like 40 pages left, so definitely I'll be finishing this today. And now for Anathema. I read, let me see, 18 pages of this last night in bed. The thing lately is that once I turn the light out, like when my boyfriend is going to sleep, I am just so tired. I've been going to bed earlier and earlier, and so I don't read a lot of this book. So I'm only on page 91. I read 18 pages last night. I think I am starting to like this book more. We just got to a part where I think I realize what the connection is going to be. I don't remember if I told y'all yet that there are like two different point of views. So there's Zavander, which is this evil guy. He has like special powers that like no one else has, and he's basically like an assassin for the king. And then we have Mavis, I think that's her name, who is the sister, and she's like being wed off and stuff like that. But I was so confused because I was like, how do these two things connect? You get a sort of like backstory in the prologue of Zavander, and so you're kind of just like, how does this connect with Mavis? Like, it's so weird. But the part that we just got to, I think I understand what it is. So in Mavis's world, I think I told y'all how there is like an archway that leads into the Eating Woods. That's what it's called, and like that's just what they call it, the Eating Woods. And it's where they banish people who have like done wrong. Like it's basically an execution. Like the king will send people in there to like get eaten and just die in there. And no one, I don't think anyone's ever come out of the Eating Woods, and so no one like knows really what's in there, what, like how far it goes, like where it ends, you know, whatever. Well, in Zavander's chapter last night, we kind of just got to the part where he's hunting for like these rubies or something, like by killing people, or like there's a ruby for each like culture on the planet or something like that. And the guy who is like telling him to go do these things, he said like, you have to go into these woods that are like super mysterious, and like on the other side of that will be the human realm. And I was like, wait, so these are two separate like realms, because in Zavander's they kept talking about how there is a realm to where it's just like straight humans, there's no powers, and how it's like diseased, famined, like everyone there is horrible. But I think that that's Mavis's point of view in the human realm. So I think that's how it connects, and Zavander's gonna cross into the human realm and meet Mavis. I think that's where this book is going, and if it is, I'm really excited. So that's why I'm liking the book a little bit more now. So I read 18 pages of this last night, which means I read 88 pages total yesterday. Still not horrible. I did better than the day before. I do hate that I have to always give y'all updates like the morning after. It's just I read up until like I literally pass out in bed, so I can't really give y'all updates like the day of, like, oh, I'm going to sleep now, this is how much I read. I have to do it in the morning. So 88 pages on Tuesday. Today's Wednesday and I already read one chapter, but I definitely am gonna finish Sky Shade today. So I'm about to sit here, keep reading. I'd really like to finish this book within like the next 2 hours, so we're gonna try to do that, and I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. I literally only have 12 pages left, and I'm really scared because they're in battle right now, and I swear to God, if any of the animals die in this, I'm gonna lose my mind. What? Oh my God. Someone that we thought had betrayed Isla actually didn't. It was one of those things to where it's like this person was acting like they were against Isla, but when it came down to it, they were actually working with her, and they tricked everyone and they ended up saving Isla. Oh my God. Okay, wow. I just finished Sky Shade. I already put the, can y'all even see me? I already put the dust jacket back on. This book ended in such a good such a good way to set up the next book, which I think is called Crown Tide, and it comes out in December. The next book is going to be pretty good. I fear it's going to be very good. I can't believe it took me like 3 weeks to get through the first half of this book, and then it took me like 3 or 4 days to get through the second half. I don't know which one I liked more. I think I was just in a reading slump for the first half of this book, like nothing towards this book itself, but I can't believe I'm done with it now. I don't have, actually I was gonna say I don't have any more books in this series, but I do, because I think Alex Aster just came out with that like Grimm versus Oro book, but is that like a special edition of one of these, or is that like another book? I'm not sure. I need to look into it, but I will say this is like honestly probably one of my least favorite fantasy series. I like it, but it's just, Isla's kind of annoying to me. She's kind of like, she hides all these things from different people, from Oro and Grimm, and like a lot from them. And then whenever she finds out that like Grimm or Oro is hiding one thing from her, she gets so mad. She's like, how could you do this to me? And I'm like, girl, you're doing the same thing times 10. And that makes me really annoyed with her. So I'd probably say this is like one of my least favorite series. I mean, I like it more than like Shatter Me, and honestly, I don't even know if I like it more than The Cruel Prince. I honestly have no idea. It was good enough that I'm gonna read the next book because, like I said, the last chapter in this book was a really good setup for the next book. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it yet. I might rate it a 3-star. It was good. Like, I finished it and I genuinely did want to know what happened. But yeah, just not like my favorite, and definitely not my favorite of the series. I think so far the second book, which is Night Bane, that one's my favorite. The tension in that one between Grimm and Isla is just absolutely insane. So anyway, done with this book, done with the pages from this book for today. Now I can start reading Anathema. I should be getting through that book a lot faster now that I'll be reading it during the daytime too. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna go eat some lunch and then we will start reading Anathema. Let me pause my ambiance. I talked to y'all last night. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did. I gave y'all my wrap up on Sky Shade. I gave it 3 stars. I did enjoy it, but just not my favorite in the series, or it's just like not my favorite series overall. I did read a little bit of Anathema last night. Let me see what page I'm on. Oh my God, it's such a like shock whenever I get on my Kindle in the morning and my brightness is turned all the way down, but it's like, I did that because I was laying in the pitch black in bed. But when I'm laying in bed at night, I'm like that, like when I'm laying in bed at night, I usually keep the brightness on like 11 or 12. And that's bright for me in bed. And then it's like when I wake up and I'm in the sun and stuff, like 11 or 12, I'm like squinting to see it. So I'm now on page 118, which is chapter 11, and it's Zavander's point of view. We haven't gotten any like cross world building yet to where I thought that like Zavander was going to go into Maevith's world. None of that yet, but we are learning a little bit more about Zavander's life and his powers and his family. And I think that there's a really good, we learned about Zavander's sister, and he basically went to like a brothel and was like, you're coming with me, like you're not working here, like I'm taking you home. And she was like, you're not, like you're my brother, you're not my dad. And he's like the protective brother of her, and she was like, my sister is not gonna be in a brothel right now, like, you know, whatever. So we're learning a little bit more about him. And Mavis, something like weird just happened with her. She like had cut her arm. I don't even remember how she had cut it. I think like a bird attacked her. She cut it like on the archway to the eating woods or something. It was something like in the very beginning of the book, and it got infected, but now it's like mysteriously gone, and there's like weird stuff happening with her body. So I'm like, is she getting powers in the mortal world or something? Like, is this gonna go into how her and Zavander meet up? Like, I'm not sure. I don't even remember what page I was on. I think I was on 91. So hang on, I wrote this down. Let me go see how many pages I read of this yesterday. Okay, I read 27 pages of this yesterday, which brought my total with the 27 of this and then reading the rest of Skyshade. I read, oh my god, I literally just forgot how many pages I read. I'm not getting up to go look at what I wrote down again. I will put it up on the screen of how many pages I read total between this and finishing this for Wednesday. I'll put it up here on the screen. But we're starting bright and early on Thursday morning. I'm starting on page 118. This is going to be the first time in this video that I'm actually reading this book during the daytime, because like I told y'all, this is usually my nighttime book. But since this is now the only book that I'm reading, I'm going to be reading it during the day, and hopefully it goes by a lot quicker. I will say that when I started this book, I did not know that it was almost 700 pages. I typically do not go for books that are over like 600. So this, I think it has like 690 pages, which scares me and almost made me quit reading it, like DNF it. But I am starting to like the storyline more, so I'm just going to push through. But I don't know why, like I could finish 2 books that are each like 300 something pages. They like 2 books together equals 690 pages, but if it's one book that's 690 pages, it takes me so much longer to read. So hopefully that's not the case, but I'm gonna sit here, start reading this, and hopefully get a lot further today. It is Friday, which is the last day that I'm gonna be filming for this video, but yesterday I ended up reading 68 pages of Anathema, and my theory was correct, because the 2 worlds did come together through that portal that I was talking about, and Zavander, the main guy character, the one that's in like the magical realm, he did end up crossing over into the world that Mavis is in, and they had like a little interaction. I don't want to spoil it, but they had a weird little interaction, and we're learning more about like what's wrong with Mavis. And there's actually this old witch that lives like next door to them called like the Crone Witch, and she actually knows what's happening with Mavis, and so it's like she is also maybe magical, I'm not sure. But I read 68 pages. I'm starting today on page 186. I'm hoping to get a lot further. I'm only 26% of the way in. There are a few phrases that are being repeated a little bit too much for me, and that's kind of throwing me off. Like it was talking about Zavander. I swear in one chapter it talked about Zavander grinding his teeth like 40 times, like over and over. It was like he grinded his teeth. He grinded his teeth so hard his teeth almost cracked. And I'm like, can you stop talking about that? And then there was one other phrase that I can't remember what it was now. Oh, they keep saying like unfortunately for him. Also in Zavander's point of view, it'll be like unfortunately for him, Zavander was there. Unfortunately for him. And I'm like, you do not have to repeat this so many times. But anyway, starting on page 186, which is chapter 21, Mavis's point of view. I'm gonna sit here and read, and we'll see how far I get. Sorry if y'all can hear the fan going. It is literally, don't even have my watch on. It is 10:30 p.m. so we have our fan on, and I've been laying in bed, so I'll try to make this quick. But I think I'm gonna say goodbye to this video, and I'm done reading for today. I ended up reading exactly 60 pages of Anathema, and I'm tired. I have to get up. I'm heading down to San Antonio at like 9:30 in the morning. and I need to finish packing a few things. So I'm just gonna stop the video here. I don't know, I most likely will not read another chapter today, but if I do, I do. So yeah, my total for Friday was 60 pages. I'm gonna go ahead, I don't know what the number is right now, but I'm gonna add up the amount of pages I read every single day, Monday through Friday, and I will put it on the screen right here of how many I read this week. Keep in mind, this was only Monday through Friday. I did not include the weekend because I am going out of town tomorrow on Saturday. I will do a full 7 days in the future, but for this week it was really just like a what I read in a business day sort of week. I guess I could tell y'all really quick where I'm at in the book. So I'm on chapter 27, and I thought it was going to be to where Zavander crossed into Maveth's world, like the mortal world, but the way it turned out is Maveth actually crossed into the powerful world, like the magic world, and that's where she's at right now. Like, she literally just crossed into the world, and Zavander was just alerted of her crossing over, and he was like, that's the same girl that I saw when I crossed over, and so now he's going to see her. But her and her sister Maveth and Alicia was going to get banished to the Eating Woods, and so Maveth was trying to save her. In doing that, her and Alicia both ran into the Eating Woods, and only Maveth made it to the other side, like the other world. I don't think Alicia could get through the portal, because I don't want to get into why Maveth was and Alicia wasn't. That's like a whole, there was a reason. But so now Maveth is in the magic world, and she's not being treated very good right now. So we're gonna see if Zavander comes to save the day, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm only 35% of the way through. I'll probably finish this book in my next vlog, which I've already started filming. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I will see you guys in the next video.